my second graders. Today we're going to read a very special story about two friends. Something happens to those two friends, but then there's a happy ending. So we're going to do our 5-finger retell one last time, and I'm going to let you think about it before Miss Nason writes it. The name of my story is How the Crayons Saved the Rainbow. These crayons are going to save the rainbow. Let's find out how. Before we open our book, let's look at 2 words I want to talk about before we start. You're going to hear this in our story. The first one is peer. And peer means to look out at something or look down at something. For instance, these children are peering out of the bus window. They're looking out. Sometimes you might peer out of a window. Think about a time when you've peered out of something or into something. You might peer in to look and see if your friend is in the class doing what they're supposed to be doing. Peering is to look out at something or down into something. So you're going to hear something about peering in our story. The other word I want to talk about is clambered. Clambered means that you climb out of something and it's kind of hard to do, and you're using both of your hands and both of your feet. In our story, one of the characters is going to clamber out of a desk. So that means they're going to use both of their hands and both of their feet. I don't know if you're familiar with Stella Luna, but Stella Luna had to clamber out of the bird nest. Whenever Mama Bird was coming back, she climbed out with her feet and her hands. My dog Scooter likes to clamber out of the bed using his feet and his hands. So clambered. You can see my picture. This cat is using both his hands and his feet. And so is this person using their hands and their feet. Clambered. All right, let's read our story, and then we'll think about and do our 5-finger retell. How the crayons saved the rainbow. Remember, we're going to think about the characters, the setting, and the beginning, middle, and end, which are all very important parts of the story. All right, let's find out how these crayons saved the rainbow. This is by Monica Sweeney, and it's illustrated by Parker Thomas. Love the illustrations in this. The sun and the clouds were best friends, and they worked together to keep the earth warm and the gardens growing. But of all the things they did together, their very favorite was making rainbows so that the whole world was colorful and happy. I wonder how they made a rainbow together. Think about that. How did they make a rainbow together? Then one day the sun and the clouds had a big fight. The clouds were blocking the sun, and the sun couldn't shine through to the earth. The sun went sizzle, sizzle, sizzle at the clouds, and the clouds went clap, bang, boom. They stopped being friends and were never in the sky together again. With the sun and clouds far apart, it was scorching hot on some days and damp and cold on others. When it's damp outside, it kind of feels wet. Now, when we were talking about that rainbow, when this cloud it's raining, the sun comes along and helps to make a rainbow. But since they were mad at each other, they're not going to work together to do anything. And worst of all, there were no more rainbows. Without rainbows, the flowers, streams, and even cities started to lose their color. Soon the earth was just black and white. Oh no, I hope they become friends again. But in one little town, in one little school, in one little desk, there was one little forgotten box of crayons, and the crayons still had their colors. The desk rattled and shook and clanked. And all of a sudden it toppled over and the box of crayons clambered out. So they were using their hands and their feet. Bet you didn't know crayons have hands and feet when you're not looking. Ah, I'm naked. Yippee! Get off me. I'm out of here. Woe is me. Hey, where are all the colors? The crayons started to search for the colors. They raided marker bins and tore through all the projects, but everything as far as they could see was only black and white. So the crayons are wondering, where's all the color in the earth? Who made all the color go away? This is so sad. This is terrible. If oranges aren't orange, do I even exist? What about daffodils? Daffodils are yellow, by the way, beautiful. The crayons looked out the window and the sun was all the way to one side of the sky looking angry, and the clouds were all the way to the other looking gloomy. You can see the clouds over here and the sun over here. I miss all the colors and we can't draw rainbows together now. Wait, that's it. We need to save the rainbows. So the crayons started drawing little rainbows all over town, but nothing happened and the sun and cloud didn't even seem to notice. They were too busy being mad at each other. We had to make our rainbows bigger, Violet said. Working together, the crayons drew and scribbled. They made the biggest, brightest, most colorful rainbow the world had ever seen. Wow. Wonder what's going to happen. Ever so slowly, the sun perked up and the clouds floated in for a closer look. The sun and clouds both peered down. They were looking down, admiring the giant rainbow and the crayons had drawn. What bright colors, said the sun. It's incredible, said the clouds. They looked at each other with great big smiles. Wonder what's going to happen, boys and girls. The sun said to the clouds, remember when we used to be together all the time and make rainbows? The cloud nodded. I'm sorry for going clap, boom, bang at you. I'm sorry for going sizzle, sizzle, sizzle at you, said the sun. Oh, so what's our ending going to be? It's better being friends, said the sun, and the clouds agreed. They hugged. The sun shined brightly and the clouds misted happy rain. Ever so slowly, rainbows reappeared near and far, turning the world colorful again. So there it tells you how rainbows made. The clouds miss the happy rain, and the sun shines brightly. And the rainbows were back. Look at that beautiful ending. Okay, so I'm going to give you some time to think. And I don't know if you remember this, but last time we did the beginning and the end first and then the middle. Move my chair out of the way. So let's go ahead and do our 5-finger retell. And I want you to think about it. I'm going to give you some thinking time as if you were doing this by yourself or with a partner. Let's think about our characters first. There were 3 main characters. Well, one of the characters is a big group. That's a hint. That's right. So the crayons, right? The character's going to go here. So it was the crayons. the sun, and the cloud. Next, let's do our setting, where the story takes place. Our story took place in a couple of places. Let's think about it. First, where were they all the time? That's right. So the sky, right? And where was it that big group of crayons came alive? In the school. So let's do the beginning and the end first. That's the next part of our 5-finger retell. Beginning and the end. Let's think about this. At the beginning, what happened? Let me give you a minute. If you were doing this with a partner or by yourself, what do you think you'd be putting? So at the beginning, I hope this is what you said. At the beginning, the cloud and sun were friends, right? Cloud and sun were friends. Then what happened? They had a fight, right? They had a fight. One day. That's our beginning, right? The end. What happened? The wonderful thing. What happened? They became friends again, and what did they create? A rainbow. The cloud and sun became friends again. We're friends again. And what did they do together? And created a rainbow together. All right, let's tackle that middle. Let's tackle that middle. So how did we get from the cloud and sun were friends and then they had a fight one day to the clouds and sun were friends again and they created a rainbow together? What happened in the middle? What would you say to a partner if you were working with them? Or what would you say as you're sitting there working by yourself? What happened? What happened between here and there? Well, I hope that you said that the crayons tried to get their attention with small rainbows and then made a huge rainbow that made the sun and cloud come back together. So the crayons made tiny rainbows to try and get the what? Cloud and sun to make up, to be friends again. Finally, the crayons made a big rainbow. And what happened? The clouds and the sun became friends, just admiring the rainbow. Made a big rainbow that got the cloud and sun to be friends. Because it was so beautiful, right? Now notice, when we did the middle, so it was so beautiful, they loved it. When we did the middle, we didn't tell the whole story. We don't sit there and tell every single detail, but we told the main parts of it. So let's do our 5-finger retell again. The character was the crayons, the sun and the clouds. The setting was the sky and the school. The beginning was Cloud and Sun were friends. They had a fight one day. Middle, the crayons made the tiny rainbows to try and get the Cloud and Sun to be friends again. And finally, they made a big rainbow that got their attention, and they became friends again because it was so beautiful. And then at the end, the clouds were friends again and created a rainbow together. So we just did our 5-finger retell, and you guys did a great job. I hope everybody has a great weekend, and I'll see you next Tuesday. Goodbye.